Okay, I've got a question from Travis. It looks really good. I've actually been getting a lot of questions, but I haven't had a lot of time to address them. In fact, I'm doing this right now while I'm waiting for a haircut. Travis writes, and he asks, can light exist without dark? Can good exist without evil? If God has created everything that's in existence, did he not also create evil? Great question, Travis. Actually, three great questions. Let's take them on one at a time. Can light exist without dark? Actually, light only exists without dark. You see, they're mutually exclusive. Light scatters darkness. In fact, darkness isn't really a natural agent. It's the absence of light. So yes, light can exist without dark. Now, the next question, can good exist without evil? That's a little bit more intense. That's a moral question. But once again, the answer is yes. Good can exist without evil, being that they are two exclusive sides of what we would call a moral line or a moral law. In fact, the acknowledgement that there is good and evil is an amazing apologetic or proof for the existence of God. But we won't go into that right now. But the idea is when we approach this moral line, if we choose the wrong side of it, we've chosen evil. If we choose the right side of it, we choose good. And so they are exclusive. And so yes, you can have good without evil. But let's get to the third question, because I believe it's the most intense one. Did God create evil? And the answer to that question is no. God did not create evil. The scripture is clear. It says that God is light, using the light metaphor, and in him there is no darkness at all. It says that God cannot be tempted, nor does he tempt anyone. And it says it is impossible for God to lie. The scripture is full, from one end to the other, of a description of a God who is good, who is holy, who is just, who is right, who is true, and actually is wrathful against evil. Which then begs the question, then why is there evil? And the idea here is because God allows it. Now I know you're probably rolling your eyes saying, what's the difference? You're playing word games, whether he creates it or allows it. But there's a fundamental difference in creating something with the intention to produce it and allowing something for a greater good. So you say, what greater good could there be that could possibly justify the type of evil that we see on the world? Well, that ultimate good is called by Ravi Zacharias the supreme ethic. Cool. It could be considered the prime ideal. And it's very simply this, it's love. You see, love is the purest and greatest expression of God, for God is love. But that love requires something, and that is freedom. Without freedom, there cannot be love. I can hold a gun to your head and say you love me. You'll probably say you love me, but that's not love. That's been compelled. We'd actually call that rape or oppression. And so there has to be freedom. And freedom is the divine character of God. We're created in his image. You see, animals don't have this freedom for moral choice. Moral choice is a divine ability given to us. If a lion kills a deer, we don't consider that it's wicked or that it's evil, because we know that it's operating by instinct. It has a body and it has a soul, a personality, and an intellect. But it doesn't have a conscience. It doesn't have an eternal spirit to give it the ability to make a moral choice. So we can make moral choices. We can choose for God or we can choose against God. And when we choose against God, we propagate evil. We are the originators of evil. So it's an amazing question. Keep them coming, and we'll keep getting after them. And we'll talk to you soon.
So the haircut worked.